He captured the imagination of the world with his bold gestures and avoidance of the pomp of the Vatican. He is admired all over the world for his humility and modesty. But meanwhile, his reforms and dialogical approach to the contemporary world exasperated and keep on exasperating some groups in the Church. With almost a universal acclaim at his election, Pope Francis, the first non-European Pope in modern history, has become one of the most controversial popes in Catholic history, surrounded by a multiplicity of conflicting and contradictory opinions. And furthermore, many Catholics see Pope Francis as a weak and divisive leader who is creating confusion in the Church. There are a lot of conflicting feelings and opinions about Pope Francis, but the real question is, how much do you actually know about his writing? You see, knowing his thinking directly from his writings is one thing, and doing so from secondary sources and media such as website or radio stations or TV is quite another. I'm Father Flavio Giglio, a Catholic priest and a missionary of Our Lady of La Salette, ministering at the National Shrine of Our Lady of La Salette and at the La Salette Retreat Conference Center. My ministry team and I teamed up with Valerie Pontiff and Justin Richardson to offer you a brand new online and free of charge program entitled The Season of Pope Francis, a spring or a winter time for the Church, that is intended to help Catholics better understand Pope Francis' vision for today's Church. The new free online program will consist of 5 sessions. Each session will present one of the 4 apostolic exhortations and one encyclical written by Pope Francis. And so now, grab your calendar and write down the following dates. In the second section, scheduled for September 23, I will present Pope Francis' apostolic exhortation Evangelii Gaudium, the joy of the gospel. For a deeper understanding of Pope Francis' vision for the Church, this document is very valuable. In fact, in it, Pope Francis inspires and encourages all of us to find the necessary courage to be more of a missionary church and more creative in the work of the new evangelization. The third section, scheduled for October 14, will feature Justin Richardson's presentations of Pope Francis' third apostolic exhortation Gaudete et Exsultate, Rejoice and be glad. With this document, Pope Francis offers a new perspective on the universal call to live a holy life, and he constantly challenges us to strive day after day for holiness. In the fourth session, scheduled for November 4th, Father Rossano Soriano will discuss the apostolic exhortation Amori Laetitia, the joy of love, a document that combines the result of the 2 synods on the family convened by the Pope in 2014 and 15, and during this section we will hear Pope Francis' words to parents and children, married couples, as he affirms the rich and complex reality of family life. In the fifth and final section then, which is scheduled for November 11, Father Jack Noy will present the encyclical on fraternity and social friendship, Fratelli Tutti, which will help us to understand actually Pope Francis' vision for a post-pandemic church and world characterized by mutual care for the poorest and the most marginalized and for creation. Now, all the sessions will be via Zoom and they will start at 7 o'clock p.m. The program does not claim, of course, to sum up the entire ecclesiological vision of Pope Francis, but rather is simply meant to help you better understand and appreciate Pope Francis' vision for the Church. And furthermore, we also hope that by getting exposed to those official documents of the Church and having the opportunity to discuss them, you will actually feel more motivated to continue an ongoing, mature and serious study of your faith. I hope to see you inside the program The Season of Pope Francis, a spring or a winter for the Church. I see you on the inside.